Okay, let's start with this last example. Solve graphically. 3y subtract 2x equals 6. Negative 12y plus ax equal to negative 24. You can find this in example 3 on page 247 in the textbook. Now, solve graphically, right? So we need to graph these two lines. Now, first let's solve this equation for y and this equation for y and see how it looks like. This equation we start with 3y subtract 2x equals 6. To solve for y, we add 2x on both sides. 3y plus 0y is 3y. Negative 2x plus 2x is 0x, which is 0. Equals 6 plus 0 right here. There's no constant, it's 6. 2x plus nothing on top here for x, so it means 0x. 2x plus 0 is 2x. 3y plus 0 is 3y. 6 plus 2x. Simplify by dividing both sides by 3 or multiply 1/3 on both sides. Okay. Then we multiply that 1/3 times 3 is 1 times y. Right? 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times y. Distribute 1/3. We distribute the 1/3 to each term inside parentheses. 1/3 times 6 plus 1/3, this plus right here, times 2y. Simplify 1 times y is y. 6 divided by 3 is 2 plus 2 divided by 3 is 2 over 3 times y. Sorry, this is x. I don't know why I wrote y. You see that? It's start from x right here. So I multiply 1/3 on both sides. So 1/3 times 3y here, 1/3 times 6 plus 2x here. Okay, so typo. It should be x. And then same thing here after you distribute 1/3 times 6 plus 1/3 times 2x. Simplify, we get 1 times y is y, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 1 over 3 is 2 over 3 times x. So this first equation can be converted to y equal to 2 plus 2/3 x. Okay? So let me simplify this. Okay, next we have second equation. 12y plus ax equals negative 24. Now, shucks, you can start by solving for y, or you can simplify as much as possible. For this equation, this coefficient is an even number. This coefficient is an even number. This coefficient is an even number. You know that you can divide minimally 2, okay? Because any even number can be divided by 2. So it turns out, because you have 12, 8, 24, you actually can divide by 4. So let's divide all these by 4 on both hand sides. Negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3y. 8 divided by 4 is 2x equal to negative 24 divided by 4 is negative 6. 12 by 3. Okay. Do you see that? We just simplified this equation with coefficient negative 12, a negative 24 to an equivalent equation with smaller coefficients and numbers, negative 3, 2, and negative 6. You make your life simpler when you can simplify the equation as much as possible, so that when you solve, you only deal with small number. But when you simplify, make sure you do everything correctly, because if you simplify incorrectly, then you will change the original equations. That means you won't get a correct answer. So be careful. When you divide, make sure you divide on both sides. Now solve for y. So that means we need to remove this 2x, so subtracts 2x on both hand side. combine negative 3y plus 0 is negative 3y. 2x, subtract 2x is 0. Negative 6 plus 0 is negative 6. There's no constant term here. The same thing, there's no variable term here, means 0. So 0 subtracts 2x is negative 2x. Okay. Simplify here. We get negative 3y, negative 6, negative 2x. Now we can solve for y by divide both sides by 3. Okay. Actually, we should divide by negative 3 because we want 1y. Mean 1 times y, or positive 1 times y. So make sure you divide both sides by negative 3. Negative 3 divided by negative 3, positive 1. Okay. Times y. Now, for this, to solve for this, so make sure you know the rule. A plus B divided by C is equal to A divided by C plus B divided by C. Okay. So you split this fraction, this one fraction, into two fractions with the same denominator C. Okay. So this is the formula. And I'm going to convert this one fraction into two fractions. So A is the first term here, which is negative 6, divided by the denominator, right? A divided by C. Denominator is negative 3. Now, for this formula right here, plus with plus. This case we have negatives. We have negative in between. B, which is 2x, right? So 2x divided by the denominator. The denominator is negative 3. Okay. Simplify 1 times y is y. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. Negative divided by negative is positive. So we have 2 divided by 3x. Okay? So this second equation can be simplified to this equation, which is y equal to 2 plus 2/3 x. Okay? Let me make space. Now, interestingly, if you look at this equation we just simplified, it turns out these two equations right here, after you simplify, look at that. They actually represent the same equation. They look different here, okay? They look different, but after you simplified, you get actually they are the same line, okay? So that means they're going to overlap each other because they are the same line. So it's going to be case 3, okay? Because read the question and say solve graphically. That means you have to graph it, even though you already know the answer. Okay, so let's graph it. Start with draw table, x and y. Now this time there's only one line. Even though you're given two equations, it's actually only one line. That means only one equation. So I only need to draw one table. Start with 0, the easy point. 0 times x right here. Sorry, substitute 0 into x in the y equation. So 0 here for x. 0 times anything is 0. So 0 plus 2 is 2. Now, next. Normally I like to put 1, right? But this case, because I have a coefficient 2/3. Okay, 2/3. I can start with substitute 1 here. But that means I will have 1 times 2/3, 2/3. 2/3 is a fraction. Add with a value right here that has different denominator. Okay, that means you have to find LCD, blah blah blah. But because it's your choice to select an x, you can make your life easier by substitute any value of x that will eliminate the denominator. So 2/3 times y is 2, 3, right? So what if you select 3 for x, okay? Then when you substitute here, you will have 2/3 times 3, which is 2. That means 2 plus 2 is 4. So you don't have to deal with fraction. So let me write down, when x equals 3 and you substitute here, you would have y equal to 2 plus 2/3 times 3, okay? You would get 2 plus 2 over 3 times 3 is 2. That means 2 plus 2 is 4. So when x equals to 3, y is 4. Now, 3 is just one option. You can pick 6 or 9 or 12. Any number that can divide the denominator, okay, or eliminate the denominator. If you pick 6, right, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that means you just divide out the denominator. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. But that's another case. So they picked out any number, multiple of 3, that can divide and eliminate the denominator. So I got 2 points. I can grab it. When x equals 0, y equals 2. 0 here, go up 2. So 0, 2. When x is 3, 1, 2, 3, y is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When x goes to 3, y is 4 up here. Okay, so grabbing the first line, y equal to 2 plus 2/3 x. This is the first line, okay? Now let's grab the second lines. Now the second line is also exactly the same as the first line. So actually, let me grab the arrows. To grab the second line is actually overlap with, okay, it's overlap with first line because they represent the same line. So label y equals 2 plus 2/3 x. They are basically the same lines. So in this case, you say that, thus, there are infinite many solutions. Okay, and if I ask you, is this system dependent or independent? Now, let's look at the definition of independent, dependent. If you have the same line, it means it's dependent. So in this case, you say the system is dependent, okay, because they represent the same lines. What if I ask you, is the system consistent or inconsistent? Now, if you're not sure, look at the definition to say that, on the first line saying that if a system of equation has at least one solution, meaning one solution or more, how many solutions is that? Another way of saying is that, another way of asking you about solution of a system is that it means how many points the two equations intersect each other's. They actually intersect at every point on the lines, right? Remember, there are infinite many solutions because infinite number of intersections. So you would say this case is actually consistent because it had at least one solution. So you say the system is consistent because it has at least one solution. Okay. So up to this point, I just finished section 3.1. Let me give you the homework list. For section 3.1, we have number 3, number 11, 13, number 15, number 17. 3, 11, 13, 15, 17. Alright? Thank you, and I will see you next time.